Well, this is what's left of the tank before it goes off to coal. By the time you're watching this, though, it's probably already at coal as we speak. But, yep, took all the gravel. Obviously took out all the fish, took out all the decorations. Everything's gone, all cleaned up. I didn't give it a full clean. All I did was rinse it off in hot water. I just quickly plopped it in my tub. Threw some hot water on it and just cleaned the glass as best as I could. There's still some smudge marks, but that's okay. But yeah, like I said before, if you guys, if I didn't mention this already, the reason why it's going over by Coles and the reason why the gravel's going over by Coles is because he has... What's up everyone, it's your boy Shane. Welcome back to a brand new video of the vlog channel where today, guys, we need to talk. This weekend came. Well, you may ask what happened this weekend. A handful, or I'll say a number of things have happened over this weekend. None were good. Fish-wise, weekend overall, it wasn't that bad. But fish-related wise, everything went horribly wrong. And by that, what do I mean by that? Well, you probably already know what I mean by that. Did you guys think about it? Well, if you guys did say that all of the fish died, you are most certainly, unfortunately, correct. Over the course of this weekend, all three fish, Phantom, Sparks, and Angel died. Was it my fault? I would say 50% yes and 50% no. There were some things that happened over that weekend which I still can't explain why or how it happened, but all I can tell you is that I'm trying to work into it and kind of find out, solve the mystery of why they died. Because even till now, guys, I don't know what happened. I have zero clue of what happened. And really, it just it just happened so quickly. Now, let me just run you through how this whole weekend happened. Friday, it was feeding day for them. I was so excited to feed them. And at the same time, I was going to a sleepover at my friend. I don't know if you guys know him from my gaming channel, but his name is Ethan. Or if you guys know him by his Instagram name, that's down below. Either way, he invited Cole and I for a sleepover. And we went over to his house for a sleepover. Now, before that, it's not that before you guys even think about it, no, I did not forget to feed the fish. I did feed them. I fed them exactly right before I left. And I gave them... I gave him food, gave Angel food, I gave Phantom food. I even remember how I did it. I poured in their food, exactly how much they eat in the amount of time. I did not give them too much, nor I didn't give them any less. And then I dropped in the Pleco wafer right after, so it kind of works hand in hand, so that way while they were alive, the two Oscars would be busy eating their own food, and they wouldn't be busy picking at the algae pellet, and it gives the Pleco his own time to eat, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I did that. Wait till they finished all their food, which they did. They did finish all their food, and it was time to leave. I left around 4:30, and I made sure they were all okay. And my sister was over. She was in this. I only slept there on Friday night and came back the Saturday morning with Cole. Him and I left at the same time. His mother picked us up, not important detail. But when I came home, I noticed the fish were still okay. They were completely alive. Angel was frolicking around the tank, so was Bart. One thing I did notice with the pleco was that he kept swimming up around the filter. Now, if I remember my information correctly, when a fish is nearly around the filter or near or around the surface of the water, that's one of the clear signs that it's either going to pass or it's really, really sick. One thing I was thinking is like, okay, he's near the filter, that's not good. I wanted to see if he was alive, so I dipped my net in, touching him. He was being responsive, and he swam down to the bottom. Now, usually, I found that behavior kind of shocking because Phantom, from the course of over a week of, like, watching Phantom and all the fish in the aquarium, they don't like to, they never hang around the top of the filter, around the filter area. In the hang-on filter, there's a part where it hangs on. There's a small gap. He was, like, around that area. So I was starting to... I wasn't thinking too much of it, because, you know, it's just Saturday. I came back, I was like, okay. And we were about to go out anyways, so it was like, whatever. And then, yeah. So that was all strange, but at the same time, I didn't think about it, which was kind of a mini mistake I've made. So anyways, we go out to the mall. We going in the living room watching TV or finding a Christmas movie to watch and so forth. Now here comes the part where it gets from 0 to 100 real quick. So I go and I go in the room to check because it was commercial break, whatever. I came in my room, checked in on the fish, and it was as I walked in, I look on the bottom of the tank. Phantom is laying there, belly up, not floating at the bottom of the tank, belly up, and I was like, he's dead. He's actually dead. Can't believe he died. And that is the main question, that he died. What happened? I made sure the water parameter was crystal clear when I came back home, so it wasn't, I don't think it was the water quality. I don't know, because, like, the water was crystal clear, so I was like, okay, maybe water might not be a problem. But the thing is that with water, even though it's crystal clear, it can still fool you, because with pneumonia spikes, pH levels, all that can affect the water. And it can look as clear as air. So don't let that... When you guys are raising fish, do not let that fool you. Do not let the fact that your water is crystal clear. First thing I noticed, because keep in mind, he was belly up, so I couldn't see what his like back was like. So I flip him up, and he has patches of white on him. I'm going to show it at the top of the corner, of the screen, whether it be here, 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 or here. And you guys can see that his on his back, he has white spots. Now, I'll point to the part where it's weird, because he does have white spots on him, because he's a... I don't know if I'm butchering this, but he's a Gibbicus pleco. And they do have white, like, dots as, like, their like, scales, like, design. But one thing was not normal about him is around his head area, he had like a giant white blotch. Like, it was just like his color, it looked like his color was fading in a sense. Like, there was just like strands of like things coming out. Now, I still kind of don't really know what it could be. I'm guessing it's a sickness. I'm guessing he may have gotten a disease because of different things, multiple factors we could calculate right now. That could all lead to what happened, but the thing is, like, which one's the most possible outcome? It's just multiple things you could think about. Anyways, aside from all that, I sent it to Cole, because my first thing was like, okay, Cole has a little bit more fish knowledge than me. So I sent it to Cole, and I was like, okay, Cole, it happened. Something happened. And we've got an issue. And he's like, what? What happened? And he's like, don't tell me. And then I send him a picture, and he's like, yep. And I'm like, yep, it happened. And then he's like, okay. And then both of us are just talking, and then when we meet up at school, we were just like, what the hell? Like, we're both confused on how this could have happened. When a fish dies, they release a chemical in their body when they're dying that makes them decompose and stuff like that. I don't know the exact name off the top of my head, but I know what it does. Their chemical that they release in the water, it could spike your pneumonia. Like your pneumonia levels could be this, but as soon as they release that chemical, your pneumonia levels are going to go like this. Your nitrites, they're going to all fluctuate. Everything's going to fluctuate. Even your pH levels have a great possibility of going higher or even dropping, depending on what the fish is that's dead in the tank. Now, if that gets affected to other fish, especially with Phantom that had that disease, all the fish could get that disease and then end up dying, which essentially that's what ended up happening because I wasn't thinking properly and I should have done it as the problem happened. Anyways, so I was like, okay, it's really late in the night, I don't want to do this right now, but at the same time I was like, first thing in the morning I'm going to wake up early, clean that tank, get the morning when I woke up, which was Saturday, I wake up, go to the tank, Angel is now dead. Over that weekend, that's 2 deaths. Now when I look on Angel, I don't have a picture of her or else I would have thrown it up there. But I tell Cole again, hey Cole, another one's gone. We have another one down. We only have one left. That's Sparks. And he's like, he's more like surprised than ever because he's like, what the hell happened? But, yes, that's right. I noticed the same thing on Angel, except the thing is that she's albino, right? So with the white and then with the white like blotches, it's kind of hard to indicate what's what because, you know, she's albino and then white on white, kind of not a good combination. So, but I did see the same things with her fins, the same pattern with Phantom's fins. I saw the same thing on Angel's fins. And then one thing that was good about Angel's fins is that she had her orange, she had a lot of orange on top of her white, so I did see her white fading on her orange spot. I'm left with Sparks. That's me, I'm just going like, that's great. I lost 2 fish in one weekend. Please don't let me lose the second one. The third one. So, I changed the water, I quickly threw them in a bowl with the same tank water because I didn't have the time to cycle another new batch of water and keep them in the fresh water, or else I would have done that ASAP. So what I did is rush the system, rush the process of draining that water, cleaning the gravel, doing whatever, making sure it's okay, and then take him with a net so he doesn't have to be, I just scoop him up with a net and put him in the new water. Obviously, I acclimated him by putting him in the dish in the water and then releasing him after that, so that way that water doesn't contaminate the new water and make things how it was before. And it did help. It helped a little bit. When I mean a little bit, obviously if it helped a lot, I would have showed you Sparks, but where are we now? So he made it through Sunday. I changed the water on Saturday. He made it out through the rest of Saturday and a bit of Sunday. Like, he was even jumping too. Like, I have like a short mini clip video of him jumping. It was legit. Right now, after that day, after Tuesday, it literally felt like when you have a little puppy, you spend a good amount of hours training him to, like, the basics, like sit, stay, and stuff like that. And then he's doing all good one day, and then the next morning you tell him to do the same thing. It's like he was never even trained in the first place, you know? Made any sense to you guys. Anyways, it was kind of like that. It was like, okay, Sparks, you were doing alright. You were being responsive. You act like you were very healthy. You look very healthy. You look strong. You were all over the place. You were a psycho beast. How'd this happen now? Then, same thing. It was almost like, what the heck? Same thing. I look on him. He has white blotches all over his back, or all over the black. His fins. And another thing that I noticed is that he has orange tips on his fins. When I looked at him, his tips on on like his fins at the back towards his tail and his like dorsal fin, that was all orange. Like, I have a picture, I'll show it around here somewhere. But he had orange all over his fins, and I was like, okay, this one's kind of new. Okay, the white blotches I kind of get because that's what happened before. But why the new orange dark stuff? Which is kind of like, okay, what? This is not adding up. My mind went from like, you know, when you're like when you get something, like for example a math problem, you're starting to get into the math problem, and you're like, okay, I'm mastering this. I'm actually pretty good. I'm gonna be successful. And all of a sudden they add in something brand new, and you have no complete idea, and all of a sudden your mind just goes. That was pretty much me. Our local fish store, which is Big Al's. We're not blaming Big Al's for what happened, but at the same time we're kind of like, it's been a week, and since we got them, and they should be lasting a lot longer than this. So that's why when I say it's 50% my fault, 50% no. The other 50% I would have to say Big Al's had to be part of this. Now I know Big Al's, they're a big fish company, but there's certain sicknesses, like apparently this one, that like it's just, you know, too much to not detect because it's like such a bitty difference. And because there's like this is like a what? I would say a 120-gallon tank filled with baby Oscars, baby albinos, baby tiger Oscars. So it's kind of like you can't blame them for not noticing small differences like that. But what really started adding up after that was that the fish from the albino tank. Now, from the video, I'll try to show a picture of that or a small footage, but Sparks' tank that he came in and Angel's tank were two separate tanks. One's filled with albinos and red Oscars, and the other one's filled with just tiger Oscars, the default color. And then the weekend, I went with Cole. Obviously, I didn't vlog it, but I went with Cole to Big Al's again because he was going for a Black Friday sale. Everything was 25% off Big Al's. So we took the advantage, well, he did, and we went and saw what was available. But when we looked at the Oscars, because he wanted to get an albino Oscar, one thing that kind of opened up a little bit of a door for us of what happened was that the albino Oscars tank was off limits. It had a not for sale sign, and when Cole and I went and asked them a little bit, they said the fish had a sickness. So Angel may have been the start of why this all happened. Angel probably had a sickness from that albino tank because, like I said, so many albinos, it's hard to pinpoint which ones have sickness, and when one has sickness, all of them do, but you don't really notice because it's a small cycle that goes on until eventually all of them, and when you do acknowledge all of them that have the sickness, it's too late. It's just too late, because Big Al's they don't just stop at Oscars, you know? They sell everything from like peacock bass, arowana, guppies, platies, Jack Dempsey's, any type of cichlid, Oscars, so on and so forth, koi, goldfish, feeder fish, all of that. They have to run around and check every tank. So, that being said, they can't be there to see every single fish because they're trying to do a quick scan before they sell their fish, because they want to make sure it's quality fish that their customers are getting. And that's how I see it in like putting in their perspective. So don't go ahead. Don't stop. If you guys do count on Big Al's as a fish company, don't stop believing them. Okay, I haven't. Obviously, I haven't. Cole hasn't. Half of his fish are from Big Al's. It doesn't make sense. Okay, these things do happen. Can we do anything about it? Well, they're dead, so not really. Can we do anything in the future to prevent this? Absolutely. Once I find out the answer, which is how this all happened. Now, for you guys, it could be simple. You guys are probably just thinking, okay, Angel had a sickness, she spread it around the water. Now they died. That's probably it. But one thing that doesn't add up is that if they did have a sickness, why didn't it... It should have ended them earlier, because the way how sicknesses work is that the bigger the tank, it cycles off eventually. Like, especially with the amount of fish, it cycles off. Angel, there's only 3 fish in a tank, and this tank is about only a 10-gallon tank. That's not a lot of water if you really think about it. 12 gallons, sorry. It's not a lot of water to think about. Which means it's the filtration and all that doesn't matter. All that matters is that there's a small body of water, 2 Oscars, 1 Pleco, all together in one. One of them has a sickness. They're emitting into the water. The tank's not big enough for the water to be cycled off and stuff like that. There's not enough fish for the sickness to pass on and cycle off as it's moving on to different fish. With only 3 fish, it can only cycle through 3 fish, and then when it does, it hits the fish with a powerful punch. With multiple fish, like let's say you have 20 fish, it packs a punch on the first one. When the second one gets it, the punch doesn't come as hard and at first. Until then, it becomes just like taps. That's kind of like how I'm putting it in perspective. The sickness, or it could, that's some cases. Another case is that where it could all impact the fish at once, and that's what I'm guessing happened. Angel was getting worse, which I didn't realize because it didn't look like she was sick, but obviously don't don't just judge your base off of like looking at the fish. Always say, get a more detailed observation. That were in there with her, packed it, all of them, all 2 at once, and with a hard punch, took out all of them. That's what I'm guessing what happened in the waters. But to be sure, what I did is, when removing the water, I took a vial. Now I know this is going to sound stupid, in a way, but yes, I did take a vial. This is the exact, what you're looking at here is 1 vial of the tank water that Angel, Sparks, and Phantom were all in all together. Now, what are you thinking I'm going to do with it? Well, if you guys are making educated guesses, yes, I'm going to run tests on this water. I'm going to make sure the parameters that were inside the tank were a-okay. Obviously, I just want to say that, obviously, when you guys are raising fish, take safety precautions at all times. Test your water. Quarantine your fish. Always pick your fish at the fish store. Watch every single fish carefully. Make sure they're all okay before you go ahead and make the decision of which ones you want. Why, you may ask? Well, simply because if you do that, you won't have fish, well, down your toilet or in your graveyard or in your backyard. Alright? Another thing, next step, what's going to happen in the future, I am planning on getting Oscars again, guys. Cole, he borrowed the tank. I let him borrow the tank. He's not really borrowing it, or the filter. I gave him the filter, the gravel and stuff. Not because he's going to take it, because he has a cleanser, and I was offering to do it myself. I told him, hey, just give me a little bit of how much I need. I'll just do it myself. He was like, no. He felt bad for what happened, because that's the kind of guy Cole is, and he offered to take it off my hands for a little bit, and he said he'll return it, so I'm looking forward to that. But in the new year, for sure, I will have some more plans. 2019, I'll definitely get more fish. I'll definitely try to raise Oscars again. I really want to see it. I really want to raise an Oscar, see it grow from like yay big to like mahoosive 12 inches, you know? That will be a crazy journey, and then obviously we'll have bunch of new fish. The new big Megalamoo pond is always coming up too, where I'm going to host some, well, I'm going to start them off small and raise them to be giant cycle. So yeah, that's what's going to happen in the future. Video for that. But for now, we're just going to take it a little bit slow. I mean, we're slowly going to enter into the new year of 2019, and I'll be celebrating that in a different country. That may be something to vlog, if not. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and I hope you guys understand a little bit more of what happened, and kind of hear where I'm coming from on the next video. That's all from me. If you guys are new, punch that subscribe button. If you guys are new though, kind of sorry that you had to enter on a negative note, but we have some more videos in the past that came out way more positive than this outcome of this video. But if you guys are not new and you guys have been here for, or have been around for a bit, then you guys already know. Comment down below anything you feel, any suggestions for this video for the future. Comment down anything you would like to see. Comment down fish you guys want to see in the near future. Comment down if you guys want to send your condolences. You can say rip. You can put a rip for Phantom, Sparks, and Angel with a little hashtag rip in the chats, and then leave a thumbs up. And yeah, that's all from us, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, guys.